basically forced me to kick a field goal. Luckily, I get the ball to start the second half, and it's 17-17. Here we go. I got Robert Woods on a slant. Good defense here, but luckily I was able to scramble, and nice block by the square receiver. Basically, he noticed I was scrambling, and I was already past the line of scrimmage. So instead of running his route, he cuts right back and makes a nice block that gets me a first down. And now I'm very close to the goal line with 2 great plays in a row. And I notice that he's running a lot of 2-man under, and I like to do a white play, especially when I'm close to the end zone, because the white play doesn't get a lot of yards, but it beats 2-man under for sure. So right here, boom, white play, 8 yards. So that play was designed to beat the 2-man under. I'm not sure if he was even running it then, but usually it beats regular cover 2 or cover 3 as well, because usually the defenders don't react all the way back out. And touchdown on exactly the same play. And now I go for 2 again, as always. It's incomplete. And unbelievably, I forgot about the honey badger. Like, I even knew not to go to the honey badger on my last touchdown, but somehow I forgot. And I guess it's because I always go to Robert Woods and it always works. I instinctively went to Robert Woods. And it was a huge mistake. Like, I should have just went to Marcus Lee, and I think I could have got it. But no, I went to Robert Woods, and sure enough, honey badger stops him again. The honey badger is just insane. And oh, one thing I want to mention is that in both these games, my opponent, he did not have LSU selected as his team until he saw that I selected USC, and then he switched to LSU. So I think for some of the more experienced players, they know that LSU is a good matchup against USC. And I'm guessing that it's because of Honey Badger, and they know that USC has 2 unbelievable receivers in Robert Woods and Marcus Lee. But I think as good as those guys are, the Honey Badger just trumps them hands down. I mean, Robert Woods and Marcus Lee are not like your average receiver. They're both 5-star players. But I guess compared to the Honey Badger, they're just pedestrian receivers. I mean, Honey Badger is just that good. And another thing, while this opponent is driving on me with this no-huddle offense again, is that because of LSU and Honey Badger, it's even more important to set your formation subs before you run offensive plays, because that way you'll get your best players in the slot and away from the Honey Badger. The Honey Badger is always going to stick to the #1 receiver, but he doesn't actually stick to Robert Woods or Marcus Lee. He just sticks to the receiver in the #1 spot, which is usually the circle button guy. So that's why it's so important to do your formation subs to get your best receivers out of the circle position, because otherwise the Honey Badger is just going to completely negate one of your best weapons. And 4th down here for the opponent, and he decides to go for it. And I think, in the 3rd quarter, I would definitely go for it as well. And bam, I stuffed him on 4th down. Extremely lucky play, and I get the ball back with the lead. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident, especially since I got a slant to Blackwell. Normally, I wouldn't throw that, but I noticed that he was playing off Blackwell, and I figured I'd give it a shot. And it wasn't the Honey Badger on it. And I tried to run it there, and it didn't make it. And very, very tense situation here, but luckily I was able to get it 3rd and 1 straight up the middle on a play that I'm not very good at running. Here it's another cover 2, 2-man under, I mean. But luckily I was able to use the stick to fit it into the window, and that was a very, very tight window. And here, wow, sack again on like a 2nd and 2. Horrible sack, which puts me way behind the yardstick, and I was not able to complete that. Even if I was able to complete that, I think I would have been a little bit short, but at least I wasn't close enough to try to go for it. But instead, I was forced to punt. Now the guy gets the ball back with 4 minutes left. On second and 12. Here he goes with the inside pass, and I was okay with that. He got 4 yards, and he's running his favorite no huddle offense right now as well. So at this point, I'm really hoping to be able to stop him on 3rd and 8. His third down percentage has not been very good this entire game, and luckily I was able to knock it away from his receiver. So now 4th and 8, he thinks about it, and eventually decides to go for it again. I guess with 3 minutes left, he didn't want to take a chance and have me run out the clock. And wow, I played a 2-man under there on the few times I did, and I was able to knock the ball away. Now I got the ball in great position, but unfortunately I get sacked again on his side of the field. And this is like the 4th time I've had the ball on his side of the field, not being able to do anything. That pass right there, I thought I had Woods for sure, but somehow he was able to knock it out of his hands. And that time I thought I had Woods again, and I was sacked for like probably the 10th time this game. I had to punt again. So basically, extremely tight game. Like even that was an interception that I should have had. Probably the 4th missed interception. And this game just continues to go back and forth. Very nice throw here by the opponent. He had a chance to break it all the way. I was very lucky to even drag him down from behind there. And now with 2 minutes, he's continuing with this hurry up. Nice catch again. I think that was the 2nd time he's gone to that receiver. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but I think it might be Russell Shepard, but great play there to just jump up and catch the ball. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Russell Shepard used to be a quarterback too, a very tall one, for that matter. So I think this player who plays LSU definitely knows his personality well. He knows that Russell Shepard can jump up and get the ball. It's like 6'6". Especially on the plays where I'm playing him tight man, like he just really needs that additional height to get a little bit of separation. Vertical separation for that matter. And very nice catch here. He was able to get his feet in bounds with just a little bit of room to spare, and he got to the 1-yard line. Somehow he failed on 1st and goal, and 2nd and goal he makes it. So the opponent goes up 1 point because I missed my 2 points to go. 24-23 right now with a minute, which is not bad. Like I can score in like 15 seconds, as you guys have seen throughout this game and others. But here he sacks me again. Great defense by my opponent. I go long ball. I mean, normally I wouldn't throw that, but I was kind of getting desperate since I was behind the chains anyway. So that could have been picked for sure, but I was kind of desperate and had to go for it. And there it was picked. Over the middle by a fat guy again. This is the 2nd time I've been picked by a fat guy. But that time I actually saw the fat guy, so that was more of a desperation throw. The first time I admit I did not see the fat guy at all. The one where they took it to the woodshed for a pick 6. Alright guys, so that's how the game ended. I ended up losing this one in a very closely fought battle. And a couple of lessons I learned while playing this game. Number 1, the honey badger is insane. It eats your receivers for lunch. Number 2, I'm not as good at converting the 2-point conversions as I previously thought, and that's one part of my game that I need to continue to work harder on. So I hope you guys really enjoyed, and be sure to check out Game 2 against the same player, which I'll be posting later on today. Thanks a lot. See you next time.